alternate day fasting is not all that intense. It's very sustainable, very doable. And I'm pleased to be able to do another challenge where you can follow along with me the entire month and do an alternate day fasting protocol. Now, I did the announcement last week where I announced like being able to get some goodies from Thrive Market to be able to make it a little bit more sustainable and have some fun with it and all that. So if you haven't, go back and reflect to that video, but either way, let's go ahead and break this down because this is super simple. I will also let you know there is a link down below to Thrive Market to get some of your goodies. I have a recommended shopping list and everything that you can follow for this challenge. But also in another link down below, I put a downloadable PDF version of this. So highly recommend you use that so that you can have something to print out and follow. But this video is going to explain what we're doing and how I'm kind of coaching you through the entire process. This is based upon what is called a 175-25 study. Okay, now this study was published in Rejuvenation Research, and it was designed to look at what would happen if they had subjects eat 175% of their daily calories one day, like totally feast one day, and then the next day have them cut down to like 25%, and then the next day 175-25. Okay, well they found that if they maintained normal calorie level, they would maintain weight, yet a lot of their biomarkers like insulin sensitivity and all this stuff would improve. So we're looking at this from, yes, a general just wellness standpoint, but we're also looking at it if we reduce the baseline calories a tiny bit, this can also be a very effective fat loss tool. So you'll see as we go through how it all makes sense. So let's go ahead and jump in. So first thing in the morning on a non-fasting 175% day, you're gonna do apple cider vinegar plus 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric and 1/2 teaspoon of ginger. This helps PPAR alpha, helps you get a little bit more fat adapted. Then shortly after that, you can have your coffee, you can have a black coffee, black tea, whatever you want. I just want you to be working out or doing cardio in a fasted state. I would prefer that your higher calorie days, your non-fasting days, actually be your cardio days. And I prefer that your fasting days be your lifting days or your strength days, because the strength days are going to activate the muscle in a way where it's going to allow it to preserve better. You're better off doing cardio on a day where you're eating. Okay, so meal number one is technically kind of two meals, kind of smushed together with a little bit of time. Okay, so right after your workout or your cardio, 30 minutes post-workout, 1 scoop of protein plus almond milk. We're not adding carbs with this particular meal. This is just to essentially break your fast, your overnight fast, after your workout with just a simple protein shake. I'm not gonna get really like nitty gritty with what protein I want you to use. Typically recommend using a pea protein powder, but you can use whey if you're not sensitive to it. Again, Thrive Market, I listed out all that stuff. So again, you can use that link down below to get the recommended stuff through Thrive Market. And also just huge thank you to them for supporting and doing this challenge with me in the first place. Okay, then 15 minutes after you have that protein, it's kind of crazy to see me recommending carbs in this case, right? Well, I wanted this to be sustainable for everybody. It's kind of a quote unquote targeted carb cycling approach. So we have 8 ounces of red potato. You can make it into a hash, you can grate it, you can smash it, whatever. Just a red potato, spice it however the heck you want, okay? 6 ounces of lean chicken. Now, I would recommend you make a hash where you like kind of grate the potato, add some chicken that's diced into it, spice it up, make it breakfasty. 2 cups of sauteed spinach with 1 tablespoon of avocado oil. Minimal amount of oil here. Remember, I don't like to combine a lot of fats and carbs together, so that's kind of the idea there, but we still need something to saute the spinach with, and I want the avocado oil because that's at least going to help out with what's called oleoethanolamine, OEA, which helps you out a lot with like uncoupling and brown fat activation, some fun nerdy stuff. 1/2 cup of raspberries or strawberries. Raspberries have specific tannins in them that actually are amylase inhibitors, so it makes it so you don't process as much of the carbohydrates in them as much as you normally would. So it's kind of nice. You get kind of a free food there. Okay, now remember how I said I don't like combining fats and carbs a whole lot? Well, that's exactly, I need to get your calories up on this day. The point is we're going relatively high calorie this day so that we can go very low calorie this day and alternate. But in order to do that, I have to get your calories up somehow. So I need you to get some fats in there. So I recommend 2 ounces of macadamia nuts or 2 ounces of pili nuts if you can get your hands on them. But you notice how I have you wait 15 minutes after you complete this meal? I know it spreads the meal out, but if you were hitting the road for work, you could eat this meal and then grab the macadamia nuts and eat them in the car on the way to work or something. There's no excuse why you can't do that. There's no time excuse whatsoever. I'm a busy person, I can make that kind of thing happen. So that makes breakfast be like close to 900 calories if you add it all up. I know that if you are a much smaller person, you may want to reduce this a little bit and bring these calorie counts down to like 600-700. But hear me out on this, it's all gonna make sense. Meal number 2. In fact, this day's nice because you get to just kind of splurge and eat quite a bit because the next day you're fasting quite a bit. Meal number 2, 9 ounces lean ground beef or ground chicken. You can do ground turkey, but I like ground chicken. It's a little bit cleaner usually. 2 times coconut wraps. I'll show some B-roll of what these look like. You can get them at Thrive Market. I also found some at Walmart in my last grocery haul there. Easy coconut wraps that you can use. They're like low carb wraps. If you can't get your hands on those, you could use a form of keto bread. You could use some jicama wraps. I just wanted you to make some kind of like sandwich or burger kind of thing with this. If you just put the ground beef in like a coconut wrap, it's delicious. Okay, 1.5 cups of mixed greens. I want you to have a salad with 3 tablespoons of dressing. Do not have soybean oil. Try to avoid canola oil and try to avoid good old sunflower oil. If you can, find dressings that have avocado oil or olive oil. Again, Thrive Market has a ton of those. The link is down below if you want to use any of the Primal Kitchen brand, which is made with avocado oil. Just do not recommend getting the soybean oil. And 1 hard-boiled egg. So you see here, we're kind of making a Cobb salad. That dressing brings up the calories quite a bit. We're looking between 600-700 calories with this meal. It doesn't look like it, but it is. You see how calories add up, right? Again, drop it down a little bit to 300-400 if you're on the lighter side. Optional snack. I put this here because if you're just getting used to this, this might seem like you're just used to eating more. It's all good. Totally optional. You don't have to have it here. It's a 300-calorie-ish snack. 6 ounces of organic pasture-raised cottage cheese. So I would recommend Good Culture brand there. Or half an avocado plus 1 scoop of protein. Or 2 chomp sticks and 1 ounce of macadamias. That's a really like thrifty, nifty on-the-go snack there. Dinner. This is where we have some fun with this. Okay, you can have a little bit of creativity. You can, kind of change it up a little bit if you want, but I want you to follow these general rules. So no later than 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is your cutoff. I prefer if you even ate sooner. Okay, we don't want to be eating after dark generally. 6 to 7 ounces of wild-caught salmon or chicken thigh without the skin. Normally, I recommend leaner chicken because a lot of times the toxins and all the, crud that is put in chicken, it stores in the fat. But if you go with a good quality organic chicken thigh without the skin, you'll be okay. I just want to get those fat calories up a tiny bit. 1 cup of cauliflower stir fry. Trader Joe's makes a really good one, or you can find all kinds of different brands. There's a brand called Kevin's. They sell it at Sprouts. I see that all the time. Or you can make your own with some peppers, a small amount of peas, because yes, there's some carbs in them, small amount of carrots, just, whatever you might put in a little stir fry. Just don't go overboard. Try not to go more than like 15 grams of carbs there. Remember, we're not keto, so it's okay if we go over a little bit. 2 tablespoons of coconut oil or ghee that you're mixing up with that stir fry, and then 1 cup of one of the following: broccoli, bok choy, or chard, or any real kind of deep leafy green would be okay. Baby kale, stuff like that. Okay, then after you finish that meal, you go straight into your fast, okay? So now we're gonna scoot over here to our fast. I also put a link down below for a Facebook group. That way you can have a little bit of community and just kind of involvement, and I can hop in there and do live broadcasts from time to time. So that link is down below as well. Day, our alternate day fasting day. So this is heavy amount of calories here, which seems crazy. Feast, fast, feast, fast, feast, fast. We're not fasting every day. We're feasting and fasting. So in this case, still start your day with the ACV plus some turmeric, some ginger, along in some water. And then this time I want you to add a tiny dash of cayenne if you can handle it. Otherwise, take a cayenne capsule. Your workout needs to be strength oriented this time. And the reason is because that way we are locally activating mTOR, so the body doesn't catabolize. You don't waste muscle when you work out. You waste muscle when you don't use it and you lose it. Keep tension on the muscle. So in a day where you're not eating, you're actually going to stimulate more growth hormone production by activating the muscle and getting some mild to moderate, even intense strength training exercise. You can go a little easier on the cardio today, assuming you did halfway decent on it yesterday. Okay, if you work out in the AM, that's totally fine. Okay, have it after your coffee, but I would recommend you use electrolytes during your morning workout just to help kind of stabilize blood electrolyte levels. If you work out in the afternoon, your best bet, if you can make it happen, would be to work out at the end of your fast right before you break it, because it's going to make it so that when you do break your fast, you're also breaking it at the end of the workout, which means your cells are going to suck that stuff up, right? These are what are approved during a fast. Now, granted, the list goes on and on and on, but making it simple. Black coffee is totally fine. You can even add some spices to it, make it taste different. Stevia is totally fine. Matcha, black tea, totally good to go. Again, stevia, monk fruit, good to go. Apple cider vinegar, good to go. You can sip on it throughout the fast if you want. Element brand electrolytes. Element's really the one that I approve of. You can use different electrolytes by all means. I really like them because I like their flavors. If you get too hungry because you're not adapted to this, which can happen, but don't be fooled, a lot of times it's psychosomatic, a little bit of bone broth, I recommend either Fond brand or Kettle and Fire. Both of them are delicious. Fond is a little bit more culinary oriented, Kettle and Fire is a little bit more ingredient kind of oriented. So I just recommend either one of those. They just taste, or you can make your own, or 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. That way you still stimulate PPAR and get your body fat adapted so it gets the benefit of a fast. Then 30 minutes prior to breaking the fast, okay? Now, you're going to have 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, if you can do it, in some water, along with 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. That's going to help you out with what's called methyl hydroxychalcone polymer, which is an insulin mimicker that helps you metabolize or utilize some more of the nutrients and mimics that insulin right when you break a fast so you don't have this huge insulin spike. Okay. Optional, 15 minutes prior to breaking your fast. If you like bone broth and if you're down to just continue to buy it, because I know it can get pricey if you're using it all the time, 1 cup of bone broth right before breaking your fast is actually very great for the gut as far as the gut mucosal layer goes. So right now, assuming you're breaking your fast around 5 p.m., I want you to be fasting for 20 to 22 hours, okay? So from the time you stopped your dinner, you took your last bite, to now, it should be 20 or 22 hours. So 7 p.m. to 5 p.m. or, you know, whatever, something within there, 7 p.m. to 3 p.m., however you orient it to work with your schedule. Okay, so you're gonna have 1 scoop of protein plus 1 scoop of collagen. I don't care what brand of collagen you use as long as it doesn't have sucralose or aspartame or any artificial sweeteners in there. Vital Proteins is good, Perfect Keto is delicious and great. Unflavored collagen, Thrive Market also has just a smorgasbord of them, and I'll put them in the list. And then if you don't want to do that, you can do 5 ounces of lean poultry. Try to stay away from beef during this breakfast meal because we just want lean protein that's going to absorb quick. Okay? Keep it super clean and lean and simple. 60 minutes later, you have your meal. The nice thing is, because we have done so much fasting today, you have a lot of flexibility. I gave you macronutrients to follow for this one. Have fun. I'm not going to tell you what you can and can't eat. I think you know by now. Soybean oil, hydrogenated, crap like that, keep it out, okay? So 40 to 55 grams of protein, 40 grams of fat, less than 25 grams of carbs. Fiber goal is 10 to 15 grams, as long as it's falling within this carb content. And then use Mediterranean spices as an afterthought, just because they're going to help you get fat adapted and get more out of your fasting period. Okay, once you finish this meal, you're shutting it down, baby. You're shutting it down all the way until this time again, okay? Very clear lines of delineation between when you eat and when you don't eat. That is what we are learning here. Feasting, fasting, on, off, okay? A quick touch on the supplements that you can use, ones I recommend you use, and then optional additional. Okay, on the 175 day, 2,500 IUs of vitamin D with lunch. Now, if you already take vitamin D at a higher level, continue to take what you take. 300 milligrams of coenzyme Q10 right after dinner. A probiotic, if you take one, I wanted to suggest you take it 30 minutes pre-dinner. Don't take it after dinner when all your stomach acids are there and when you're having to sit there with a bunch of food in the hydrochloric acid of your gut breaking down. 400 to 500 milligrams of magnesium. I recommend dimagnesium malate. It's a slower breakdown. Element, have 1 pack after dinner. That way you can sip on it, restore your electrolytes before you go into your next fast, okay? So before you start your fast, you're having some electrolytes. 2 to 5 grams, that's 2,000 to 5,000 milligrams of high quality fish oil or krill oil along with dinner or right after dinner. On the 25% day, still 500 to 800 milligrams of magnesium. I put a little bit more there, up to 800, because you could probably get away with taking a little bit more because you'll deplete some during your fast. Again, 300 milligrams coenzyme Q10, 5,000 milligrams or 5 grams of fish krill oil with dinner again. Element during the fast, okay? Probiotic, in this case, 2 hours after dinner, okay? It'll probably just go like solo by itself, right? Optional things, totally just for fun. Nicotinamide mononucleotide. However, I recommend it. It's a longer term effect. If you are trying to get that effect and get that benefit from fasting, NMN might be very effective for you. So I would recommend that. My preferred brand is called Verso. Digestive enzymes are also optional if you're not used to fasting. It might help you digest a little bit. Kava extract, not to be misconstrued with like kava pills that just have a bunch of like seeds and like stems in it. I'm talking good quality kava oil. The one I recommend is called True Kava. And then also psyllium, because people ask about that all the time as a fiber supplement. You could totally use pure unadulterated psyllium with any dinner option on either day. Okay, so remember, please use Thrive Market for all the goodies and for the shopping list, and a huge shout out to them, a huge thank you. And please, just for the sake of them helping me put this together and doing this, check them out. But then also the PDF downloadable version is down below in the description as well as pinned in the comments. So I will see you very soon, and this is going to again last for the next 4 weeks. I'll be checking in periodically on live broadcasts, and also remember there is a Facebook group down below as well, so that way you can join and kind of have all the just interaction and community that you need along with it. I will see you tomorrow.